Can't complain about that.
So I was just helping her get all the groceries in, and I just got the food. So it's weird because I don't like eating like during while we're recording because it just seems kind of weird. It seems kind of like a douchey thing to do, but whatever. I'm hungry.
Right? Yeah. No, not a problem.
And then
Not a problem. I'm just here watching Dynamite. So
yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I mean, obviously, I saw the beginning when Regal came out and talked about why he did what he did.
Yeah.
And then Moxley telling Regal, get the fuck out of here, pretty much.
Yeah, with Danielson out there kind of playing peacemaker.
Which is, I guess, unique because, like, I guess it would just be weird if, like, Moxley just beats the shit out of, like, a 50-something-year-old William Regal. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Regal can really take bumps anymore.
Well, no, Danielson basically explained it in the whole promo there. So,
well, yeah, but I'm saying like that makes sense because it would just be weird if like Moxley just like started beating the shit out of Regal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that would just look odd. But I mean, I get what they're trying to do because I guess they're trying to make it seem like Regal's whole thing is I believe in MJF because he's what I was years ago, and I believe him more than Moxley. I don't think Moxley. I'm just speaking of what I think the feud.
Right.
God damn it! And then now I got soy sauce all over the keyboard. Fuck.
Oh, that's it's not good.
And now god damn. Oh shit. But no, I'm gonna try and clean this up, and now the pad. Oh yeah, the pad works now. Fuck. I was gonna say like Danielson is unfortunately the guy who's stuck in the middle, who's trying to like play peacemaker, like you just said. Right. And he kind of just wants everybody to be who the way they used to be, and then eventually Regal ends up turning on him too. So I don't know. That's just how I kind of view it.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's definitely a unique storyline for sure. Just kind of see where it goes, and hopefully, there's a payoff for this. But I think I'm enjoying this for what they're doing right now. So we'll just see how it pans out at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Sorry, I have chicken in my mouth. But we'll get to that in our full gear in our full house review, and then also our full gear review.
Everywhere you go,
and then we'll of course do a Survivor Series predictions. There's not really too much news. There's maybe like one news tidbit I wanted to kind of throw at you, see what your thoughts are.
Okay, yeah.
RJ said he'll be joining us a little late in the show. So
yeah, sure.
And yeah, I mean, what else can be said? But let's just do the intro in 3, 2, 1. What is going on, guys? It's Wednesday. Same time, same place. It's 8:05 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. It's been cold for the last few days, but I don't mind. I like it when it gets a little cold. Sweater weather, as we call it. And I'm Drew, and with me, as always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees. Yeah, it's been cold and rainy here in San Antonio. So, I work from home. So, luckily now, I don't have to be out in that crap. So,
I mean, we don't mind it. I mean, at least I don't mind it. But tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow's Turkey Day. I don't know what any of y'all I'll be planning on doing. I mean, I'm just gonna make it simple. I mean, I have off, which I'm glad, and I will be spending it with family all day, pretty much. The missus, she works until about 2-ish. Well, I mean, luckily the store closes at 2, and then she gets off at 3. And, the new store that she's working at is close by the house, so she'll be home sooner rather than later. And so I'll be using that time to kind of spend it with family, see my niece, see my folks. And then later when she gets home, we're going to go with her brother to his house to spend Thanksgiving. So it's safe to say I'll be in a food coma, which is the best kind of way to spend Thanksgiving.
I was going to say that sounds like a great thing, actually.
Yeah, a lot of turkey, a lot of stuffing, a lot of good foodstuffs in general. What about you? How are you spending Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah, eating, of course, NFL football, DraftKings. So I'm going to get my lineups in tonight. Do a little bit of work on the spreadsheet here, with projections and seeing on the best lineups I can have. So I'm going to have about 20 lineups tomorrow. So hopefully I can win myself. Hopefully if I get first place, I win $100,000. That means I'll probably quit my job. Probably quit my job. So that way I can, put on to the business here. But, just, football and, gambling, of course. And, also as well, going to be eating some good food, you know what I mean? Making a turkey tonight, along with some brisket, you know what I mean? I live in Texas, so, I gotta do things a little bit different. And, I'll be making some baked macaroni tomorrow, too, as well. So, so it's gonna be good stuff.
You said the magic words. I love macaroni, bro.
Yeah. Baked Southern macaroni and cheese.
This isn't really like a race thing, but I guess it kind of is. I've noticed black people make the best macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah, well, not saying that we do for sure, but yeah, if you learn how to bake your macaroni, which is super simple, like people don't realize how simple it is. It's just really just cooking your noodles and using egg and using milk and heavy cream and just mixing it all up together with cheese. And just sprinkle cheese on top, and you could put pepper and salt. Well, probably not salt, but pepper on top, and maybe some smoked paprika, and just bake it. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. But anyway, regardless of that, though, yeah, I think you have a point.
I like how you try to kind of being I don't know about it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I just, I kind of, put over the other races, you know what I mean, but...
I can't be humble, but yeah, you're right. Oh, man, that sounds like some good-ass food. Anyone else... Tomorrow. I'm sorry?
It could be sexual tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be sexual, especially with food.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying have sex with the food, I'm saying, Wait,
what? Do that?
I was trying not to tell people I did it, but the secret's out. When I see that turkey, I'm
Oh yeah. I'm gonna fuck it up.
With the Hoover vacuum.
Yeah, you gotta Hoover vacuum that turkey, man.
God damn.
My God, man.
If you ain't fucking your food, you ain't living.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not allowed back at Luby's. I'm playing, but I'm not. Yeah, everybody enjoyed Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you're spending it with family, friends, you're spending it by yourself, have fun. Watch a few football games, maybe watch some basketball, play some video games, watch movies, eat a turkey, maybe even...
Oh, I'm definitely doing that tonight, too. I'm playing some Apex. Sure.
That's a fun game. I just got the new... this just shows how much of a kid I am. I just got the new Pokemon game for Switch.
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of people playing that on YouTube. Yeah. It's pretty... it's kind of very nostalgic on how the game starts and all that stuff, too. Just... You know what I mean? But, yeah.
Yeah, it's just no matter how old I get, because I played the games since I was was it 8 or 9? I can't really remember that well, but yeah, I'm still an adult and I play the games. Like anytime there's a new Pokemon game, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like I'll be 50, and when there's a new game that comes out, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like let's do this shit. So I'll probably be gaming on that all night. Maybe watch some movies. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Kyle just posted like a gaggle of turkeys. Jesus Christ.
That's a orgy of turkeys there.
A turkey orgy. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I just love stuffing. Like I will go to town on stuffing.
A lot of people do. For the most part.
I don't know. But anyways, guys, just have fun on Thanksgiving tomorrow. Be safe, be well, and eat as much food as you can. Alright, so news bits. Let's see. I mean, there's really only one news thing that came up. And it's related to one Mr. Scotty Too Hottie. If I can find the screenshot. So, I believe this is last week. So, Scotty Too Hottie made a Twitter post that he immediately had to take down. And he actually had to... Maurice is saying, "Lucky you Americans." I forgot Maurice is one of our north of the border friends up there in Canada. Sky Too Hottie put this up. Dear promoters, I do not fight women. I'm 49 and have a 20-year-old daughter. Hurting women isn't appealing to me. I understand that there are men that do it these days. That is just not my thing. If that makes me old or out of touch, I'll take it. Please stop trying to book it. Also, before my matches 20 plus years later ago with Linda Miles, China, or any other women brought up, I know what I did. It was a different time and a different place, and I wasn't a father to a 20-year-old daughter. Immediately after that, Sky Too Hottie had to disable his Twitter, so he's off social media after, as you can imagine, facing a lot of scrutiny, a lot of hate, mail and replies. So, yeah, it's just, I mean, he's right. In my opinion, I agree with him. I'm not a fan of intergender wrestling personally. I mean, there's a time, depending on the person, like if it's Rhea Ripley versus Ricochet, that makes sense. I mean, that's fine because, Rhea Ripley aesthetically looks big and she looks like she can fight a guy, Bianca Belair, possibly. But if it's like Rhea Ripley versus Brock Lesnar, it's like, yeah, that looks stupid as shit. Like, come on. But yeah, I see a lot of intergender wrestling on the indies, and you'll see like 120-pound girls have competitive matches against guys that are supposed to be bigger than them. And I just think that's stupid. I'm not a fan of it personally. I don't know what your whole stance is on the whole Sky Too Hottie intergender wrestling thing. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't know why people are trying to cancel Sky Too Hottie. That's like stupid because he's saying, "Hey, I don't want to wrestle women. It's something that I don't want to see my daughter or have my daughter see me doing. It's weird." Fuck you, Sky Too Hottie. Like, why is this even a news story? I know why it's a news story, but why is it even a news story? Like, it's stupid. People are stupid. Wrestling fans, internet wrestling fans, are mentally ill. Mentally ill. I'm just gonna say they are mentally ill. And if you do something or if you say something that you don't agree with or that they don't agree with you about, then all of a sudden they're gonna try to cancel you. You can be like, Saint Kiss doesn't look believable in the ring because she looks like, or he looks like a girl. Okay, I mean, and people will probably get canceled over that. Like, it's someone's opinion. Now, if you say something like, Saint Kiss should be fighting women, and that's cool in a woman. Okay, okay, that's something there, right? Like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's something there you can kind of, not necessarily cancel them about, but, like, at least, like, shit on him about a little bit. So, but anyway, I mean, to me, at the end of the day, I mean, to me, it's a news story, but it's a non-news story to me. With all this, at the end of the day, I mean, I think there's more things going on in wrestling right now for us to worry about. Sky Too Hottie and what happened to him on Twitter, and him being off social media, right? Sucks. He's a good guy, but it's just sad that we even have to come on here and even talk about this.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's like this is a nothing burger, pretty much, because it's just like he just said, in the post, like, seriously, like, I don't think it's appealing. I'm not interested in beating up women. And then of course you got the haters. They're just like, ugh, like, you don't want to fight women, and like this dude fucking he retired from wrestling to be a fucking volunteer firefighter for his town.
Yeah.
And he's just like, listen, I have a 20-year-old daughter. At the time when I was doing shit like that, I didn't have a kid. Now that I'm a father to a daughter, it's like, I'm beating up on these. Well, yeah, it's fake, but there's still physicality in there. I'm just imagining beating up my daughter. Like, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I can just imagine that, that's how he feels. And it's just like listen, this is a nothing burger, but this, just feels like, of all, like, the bigger news things, like, again, I can't really think of anything else that's newsworthy, but this is probably the only thing that most people are talking about. It's just like,
well, I mean, there's other news stories out there I think people are talking about more than this. But no, I get your point, though.
Right. I mean, again, I can't really think of too many other news stories as far as, like, the shows that we have to review and predict.
Well, but I mean, there was the whole Kenny Omega comments thing about CM Punk.
Oh! You see, that's why you're my guy. So let me pull these up real quick. Let me pull up the Kenny Omega chants, or not the Kenny Omega chants, but like the Kenny Omega comments real quick.
Speaking of chants, the Elite versus the Death Triangle, they just finished their match. Right before we came on the air, the Elite were coming out to the ring, and Jesus Christ Almighty, man, they were getting mixed reactions, but man, they were getting booed and getting "fuck the Elite" chants and all that stuff. So
good.
Yeah, all
right. So I have it right here. Omega was speaking with SportsIllustrated.com and encouraged fans to move on from the situation. He said, and I quote, "There are things no one can talk about, so I encourage people to let it go. It doesn't change that we want a team effort in AEW. I don't even mean implicity myself and my opponent. It also means the referee, the fans, the people who set up the ring, everyone. Even a technical error can ruin the memory of a match. I can refer back to the exploding barbed wire death match, so I encourage people to move away from it because there is no information to be released. Though I cannot talk about it, I do want the fans to know I still want the best for pro wrestling." And he continues, "This isn't Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks against CM Punk. It is people trying to show off their craft. You can boo Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks or, I was going to say the CM Punk, or CM Punk, but I hope people don't forget we're human beings struggling to show our art." Ugh. All right, so thoughts?
Well, I mean, so the other half of it was on Being the Elite this week. They on the broadcast, it was "fuck CM Punk" chats, right?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people are coming after Omega for that portion of it, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, he doesn't edit the videos. It's the Young Bucks who edit those videos. Now, who's to say that Kenny Omega's, you just say, like, hey, maybe we should not have that on there. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I'm probably leaning towards that he probably did not. If we're being honest with ourselves, maybe we're pretty leaning towards beyond. But a lot of people are kind of like, kind of be like, hey, you put on there this week on Being Elite, the fuck CM Punk chance. Well, he doesn't edit the videos. He's on there. He's a star on there, for the web series, but he's not actually doing any editing. That's Matt Jackson. If anyone pays attention to that, that's clearly Matt Jackson's thing there. So yeah, maybe they had a conversation about it, maybe they did not, but I find Kenny Omega more rational out of everybody in the Elite. I find him the most rational, the most, I won't say sane. I find him the most rational. Like the Young Bucks, if you say Young Bucks is, they're probably they're pieces of shit. They're probably despicable people. I can see that. You know what I mean? I don't feel the same for Kenny Omega. There's some things I don't like about him, of course. You know what I mean? But I can't really go up and with honestly say with confidence, be like, yeah, Kenny Omega, he's a downright piece of shit. He's human, and he should die, and I want his children to die and all that stuff. Because people out there like that. But he doesn't have any children. But I'm just saying. To me, again, this is a story, right? Again, to me, this is kind of a non-story. At the end of the day, right? I think people make it bigger than what it actually is. At the end of the day, right? If CM Punk were to go out and say that, I'll be saying the same thing here. I think people are probably making it a little bit more of a bigger deal than what it actually is. At the end of the day, so, yeah, I mean, that's what I feel about it. But everyone has their own opinion about it, though. If you have your own opinion, if you feel one way about it, okay, cool. If you feel another way about it, okay, cool. I will say, just try to look at it from different sides and not just one way. Because when you have tunnel vision, sometimes that kind of, sometimes that's kind of not good when you just have the tunnel vision. But again, it's just all opinion with the story. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all opinion. It's just Kenny and the Bucks are just all the same. I mean, you said you think Kenny is more rational. I
really do. I mean, I really do. You can tell by his demeanor, he's more. I won't say he's more reserved or anything like that. Personality wise, you can tell when somebody is more. I won't say sane, but it seems like he has more common sense than the Young Bucks. Young Bucks, okay, Drew. If you put it in comparison, I'm being serious. If you put it in comparison, okay. Right? If you had to take out of those three, I won't say people that you can trust, but people that seems a little bit more rational on the way that they do their interviews, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they handle situations. I'm saying Kenny. I'm not saying Kenny's perfect. I'm not saying that Kenny doesn't have his issues, because he definitely does. He definitely has issues. But if I had to pick out of those three, who is the most credible, sane, whatever you want to call it, out of the three, is Kenny Omega. All by Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson. He's just a fucking dickweed. So
okay, I'll give you that. Kenny has done and said some questionable things. Recently the whole thing. When they were speaking to the entire roster, and Kenny said, if it were up to me, I wouldn't hire 8 out of 10. It's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. But
well, and I think people took that out of context. I think it was. I mean, the way I read it originally, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's just joking. You know what I mean? Maybe again, now in that setting, he shouldn't have joked if that was a joke, right? Again, we weren't there. We didn't hear the context of the way he said it, right? Because, okay, I hate text messaging. I really do. I hate text messaging. Because sometimes you can send a text message, right, and you can read it in different ways, right? You can let's say you say something and you get a response that says, "Yeah, right, fuckface." I mean, it depends how you read it. It could be "Yeah, right, fuckface," in the laughing manner, or be "Yeah, right, fuckface." So it's kind of the same thing. We're reading this. We weren't there, and again, there were some people who were there who were saying, oh well, he meant it in a bad way, and there's some people there saying, oh, he was just joking.
Yeah, but okay. Why would you joke though about that when it's supposed to be like a serious?
I'm not defending that. I'm not defending that.
Oh no, I'm not saying you are, but like imagine you're at a team meeting and your boss just jokingly says that, and it's just like, why would you fucking joke about that? And because I say boss,
his personality,
and I say boss because the Bucks and Omega are EVPs; they're technically bosses.
Right.
So just like to even joke about that, it's like you're kind of a fucking weirdo. Like, okay, let's say he did joke. Let's just say for all sakes he did joke. He still looks like a fucking moron for doing that. You don't joke about that with.
Oh people. Yeah, no, 100%, yes.
You know, like, and also like you said in context, because I have bosses that I've been friendly with, and they'll just joke around and be like, why did I hire you in the first place? Like that's different. That's different because it's just me and them, having like a conversation, talking shit. Whereas if we're like in a serious, team meeting, and he just looks at all this and says, if it were up to me, I wouldn't hire 8 out of 10 of you. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Do you think it's his weird way of trying to? I won't say build morale, but like, do you think it's like a weird way to kind of like not have as much tension? You know what I mean? Like, not like a comedian, right?
Right.
A comedian, like, what do comedians do in serious situations? They try to make people laugh, right? Let's say someone got shot. Let's say someone got shot or something like that, right? Outside of a restaurant, and let's say if a comedian was there, right? And let's say they got shot in their leg, right? They got shot in their leg. They're bleeding. The comedian comes outside. Well, at least you didn't get shot in your dick. Am I right? Like they'll try and make light of this. So I'm not saying that's what you did. I'm just saying that if I was in that situation, I'll probably make a lighthearted joke. I probably wouldn't say that in particular. I'll probably say something else. Like, I don't know. Hey, Nyla, how big's your dick really?
Jesus Christ.
I'll probably get me fired, but
well, I mean, obviously those kind of jokes aren't allowed, but it's like, I don't know, just point is just Kenny seems like he's more rational than the Bucks. Like, he's a lot more nicer to WWE than most of the AEW guys. Like, when people, I think there was like a post where someone said, oh, Roman,
he's more professional.
Right, he's more professional. Like, there's a fan who said, to Kenny, Roman wouldn't last in the ring with him. He's like, well, he's their top guy for a reason. And he's put over Cena, he's put over AJ, he's put over, other guys in the company like Big E. So I'll give him that. Like, he's at least professional when it comes to, pro wrestling, because he's an athlete and he looks at other guys, like, oh, they're a great athlete, they're great wrestlers. They're good for a reason. I mean, not good for a reason, but like they're top guys for a reason because they're really fucking good. So I'll give them that. And like you just said, the Bucks are the ones that edit the YouTube videos. So this is just probably bad timing, a bad coincidence of Kenny to say, hey, let's move on. All the while on the video, it's the Bucks left in the fuck CM Punk chants, and like you just said. Tonight on Dynamite, they were getting booed.
And another thing too, to go back on the interview, when was this interview done? Was this done before or after Full Gear? Because the interview came out after.
Mm-hmm.
Was after? Okay, gotcha. Now was that before or after the before Being the Elite?
I think the Being the Elite video came out like at the beginning of the week.
Came out on Monday, so we're on Wednesday. So these comments came yesterday, I think. So, what I'm thinking is, and I may be wrong, I don't know. Maybe he made these comments after the Being the Elite video, but before like all that backlash. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not defending. I'm just trying to like make sense of this. And kind of like, okay, if I was in that position, would I do the same thing, or would I want to do the same thing? But again, he shouldn't. I mean, if he would say anything else, it would have been it would be a much bigger story because he would have been there like, oh yeah, but fuck CM Punk, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
We'll be looking at a much bigger story than what it is right now. But the fact that he's trying to like, hey, let's move on. You know what I mean? Even though at the end of the day, like it was kind of maybe disingenuous. It's a shitty situation. like it was bad timing for all this, I think.
Yeah, nobody looks good in this. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, Punk, you know, the Bucks, Kenny. I think it's going to be one of those things that we're never going to really know what actually happened because Tony's big on NDAs. Like regardless of who it is, he makes sure to get anyone to sign an NDA. You know, Cornette had to sign an NDA for whatever reason. He didn't even work for the company. He just came in, I guess, to kind of like do an interview, a job interview or whatever. But he had to sign an NDA for whatever reason. You know, Cody, I'm pretty sure had to sign an NDA, and it wouldn't shock me if Tony told the Bucks and Kenny to sign an NDA, and maybe even Punk. So, because Punk doesn't need another lawsuit. Like I think he
doesn't.
I mean, he's already had the lawsuit with WWE. I think he still has a lawsuit going on with Colt Cabana, Scott Coltman. So, yeah, Tony's very big on his NDAs, which shows you the kind of person he is. Other newsworthy things we can talk about. WrestleMania in 2027 could happen in Nashville, Tennessee, under one condition. Mike Organ at the Tennessean reported that WrestleMania in 2027 would happen in the city for the first time if a proposed closed stadium was built within 5 years. The story noted that Butch Spyridon, CEO of the National Convention and Visitors Corp, spoke with WWE about Nashville hosting WrestleMania, and talks ramped up when Mayor John Cooper and the Tennessee Titans delivered a draft for the proposed stadium. And blah, 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 blah. Spirit added that WrestleMania is the number one most followed sports brand on the social media platforms and considered WrestleMania as CMA Fest on steroids, equivalent to 2 to 3 CMA Fests in 1 week in terms of impact. You probably shouldn't mix wrestling with steroids, even if you're giving an analogy, but whatever. WrestleMania 39 in 2024 is set for Los Angeles and SoFi Stadium. 2024. I thought that was going to be next year.
For what? For WrestleMania where?
WrestleMania next year is going to be in Los Angeles, right?
Right.
Why are they saying 2024?
I don't. It may be a typo.
Probably. WrestleMania 40, which again I'm assuming that's a typo as well, is or wait, let me try to do the math in my head.
Well, 2024 should be in Philly.
Yeah, WrestleMania 39 is next year, but it's a typo. WrestleMania 40, which is 2024, will be in Philadelphia in the Lincoln Financial Field. So, and then there's more news here. The Metro Council in Nashville needs the vote to fund the proposed $2.1 billion stadium. WWE confirmed the Tennessean that they would take WrestleMania in Nashville if the stadium got built. So, WrestleMania in Nashville. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, different scenery. I like to see different cities, different opportunities for big shows like that. So, I love the baseball stadiums, right, that they've been doing for the Royal Rumble over the past few years with the diagonal ramp. It gives it a different aesthetic, right? It's not because when you watch WWE, especially in the Vince McMahon era, it's been cookie cutter, same ramp, same setup. It's been like that for years, right? So there's no special design stages, and I a lot of people ask like, why don't they do that? That costs money to do that. So costs money. WWE is trying to make money, not spend money, right? I get what people are saying, but at the same time, like if you just use the same stage, like it makes like it's so much easier to do things on the road, and it's just so much easier. Now, one thing I would say is, Raw and SmackDown should have a different stage, for sure. Mm-hmm. That'll be my only thing. Raw and SmackDown should have a different stage, give a different identity. And I think Triple H will be doing that, I mean, it doesn't have to be like immediately, but maybe after the draft, maybe we'll finally get like a different stage for both shows. They did that for when did they do the I mean, obviously they did different stages, like, like in 2002 and whatever, right? But like 2016, it was a little different with the stages or whatnot. But anyway, WrestleMania, Nashville, different scenery. I'm up for it.
Yeah, cool. 2027. So they already have 2024. Have you heard any news about where WrestleMania could be in like 2025 and 2026?
I haven't heard nothing like that. No. I think all we know right now is L.A., Philly. Then they're probably gonna do somewhere in the Midwest. So, I wouldn't be shocked if they do like Detroit again. I wouldn't be shocked if they do something like Indianapolis, because they have a big stadium up there. I mean, but like WWE, wherever they go, it has to be sexy in a way. You know what I mean? I can't see them doing Texas at least for another, probably for another 5 to 10 years. I think I won't say they're outplaying Texas, but they just had WrestleMania this past year in Dallas. Houston, we ain't gonna get anything because Houston's the worst goddamn city in the history of the world. They ain't gonna get shit.
Wow.
Piece of shit city. Sorry.
For our listeners in Houston, that was Justin's views.
Yeah, it's damn right my views. Yeah. Fuck your city. Not fuck you as a person. Like, you're probably a good person or whatever. Just get the fuck out of that shithole goddamn city. The Houston Rockets and the Houston Texans are the worst goddamn organizations in the world. Fucking Astros are a bunch of fucking cheaters. Fucking bitch. Okay, sorry. Maybe we could go back to Florida. Florida, Jacksonville. Well, probably not Jacksonville. Orlando. WWE does Jacksonville? Oh my god, wouldn't that be a message? But the cons ain't gonna let that happen. So, yeah, I mean, but that'll be a hell of a news story if that happens, though. So
just Tony just ends up slitting his wrists in his bathtub.
Yeah. When's the last time they did Atlanta? Atlanta was 27. They haven't done Atlanta since. So
Atlanta? Chicago,
Atlanta, yeah, but because remember, Atlanta, they got a new stadium too since 27.
Ah, you're right.
Chicago, I don't see Chicago, especially because in April it still be fucking snowing in Chicago, believe it or not. So I don't see that. I mean, I'll be good with that, but they're gonna do stadiums. They're not gonna do the All-State Arena or anything like that. So. So I see Florida. I see Atlanta. Those will probably be the best bets in 2025. Because they kind of like to go all over the country. Texas out of the question. California will obviously be out of the question. Maybe I won't say Seattle, but because again, it's kind of like I mean, they did do Seattle in 2003, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Seattle will probably be like a sleeper pick, but I kind of want to see them like do something like completely off the wall different, like WrestleMania in Mexico City, WrestleMania in like Portland, Oregon. Right? Like just do like a WrestleMania like somewhere completely off the wall. Again, if they do a WrestleMania like in Mexico City or even like in Canada, and it's gonna be like travel and people's visas and stuff like that, and even like travel. I think like the traveling is probably going to be a little crazy for some people there, but they will fill the arenas though. I will tell you that.
I mean, Portland would be interesting because Portland. I mean, a lot of the like smaller markets are starved for attention. Like they don't do too many shows in Portland, so I think those Portland fans will be pretty hot.
Boston. We haven't seen a Boston WrestleMania since 14. I mean,
do one overseas. Do one in Toronto again.
Oh, in Canada, yeah.
Toronto would be good. London.
I would like to. Does Montreal have a stadium? Let me see.
I
They
believe
have
they
like a
do.
soccer stadium. Not like a regular, like, 10,000 seat arena. I'm talking about a freaking stadium.
More,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, they do. They
Kyle,
do.
it's called the Olympic Stadium.
I just saw here, yeah, it seats about 56,000. So they could do something like that, too. Oh, they have a lot of options. It's good to speculate, for sure. It's fun to do that. If it were me, if I were booking my ideal WrestleMania, right? And I have to use like a stadium or anything like that, I will go for like the somewhere in the Midwest, like Kansas City or St. Louis. Or the reason why I'm saying that is because that A will be different, right? Different scenery, right? Building that market up, but also B on top of that as well, just the aesthetic. Like, I want something that has good aesthetics to the arena as well, outside, inside, right? Imagine them being at, Arrowhead Stadium, right? Home of the Chiefs, right? You know what I mean? Like, just the aesthetics of that, that'll be pretty cool to see. You know what I mean? To me, like, or even like Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium. I don't know if it's still called Lucas Oil Stadium, but, right, because, like, I love the architecture for that stadium. It really, like, because, like, it has, like, the glass, has the glass door, like the glass doors that you can open up, right? You can open up if you choose to. So if it's like a good day, you can have it, or you can close them to, or you can close them too as well. So a place like that, like, either like a big open stadium or like a stadium like Lucas Oil in Indianapolis with the retractable roof and the doors that open too as well. That'll be pretty cool to see on TV for WrestleMania.
What about? Here's one place I've been surprised that they've never even tried. Vegas.
Vegas, yes. Well, Vegas was WrestleMania 9. You know what?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You know what?
And
Hey,
Trump Plaza.
you know what? Well, no, that was 4 and 5. 4 and 5 was in Atlantic City. No, I'm adding that one to the list. I'm adding Vegas to the list too for Florida, Atlanta, Vegas. I think Vegas is very strong contender because they got the new Allegiant Stadium there. Vegas is a strong contender because I can see them going West Coast, East Coast, and because you're saying 2027, so that means 2025 or 2026. Maybe 2026. I can probably see them doing Vegas. Then maybe 2025 they'll probably do somewhere in the southeast part of the United States. But I would like to get Vegas in there. That would be an awesome. Oh god, that would be awesome.
Fuck yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be a big ass show.
I may go. I may go to Vegas just to go see that.
Yeah, why not? All right, so I'm on the Sportster website, and I just randomly type in cities that should host WrestleMania, and a list came up: 5 cities that should host WrestleMania and 5 that never will. So this is like a 2-year-old list. So
that won't. We will never host a WrestleMania ever.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, probably not. We're San Antonio. I mean, the Dome probably could fit everybody.
Oh no, the dome's big enough. But like I'm more, and actually I'm cool with the Royal Rumble. I'm cool getting the Royal Rumble every 5 to 10 years. That's our event.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our city, our event. We have so much history here for the Royal Rumble event, so I'm good with that.
All right. First on the list, the city that should host a WrestleMania, Vancouver.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, that won't be the first Canadian city I pick though. Vancouver's in the west. It's in the west, so that's near Portland as well. Near Portland, near Seattle, so I can see it, but that won't be the first Canadian city I'll pick though.
And a reminder, this is a 2-year-old list, so number 9 for a city that never will host a WrestleMania, Mexico City.
Again, that's one of the international things I was talking about earlier with the visas and stuff. So, and I think Mexico. I won't say Mexico City is dangerous, but it is dangerous, but it's probably no more near dangerous than being in the Middle East. So,
or up on our next list, a city that should host WrestleMania, Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know how soldiers. It depends on the weather. Depends on the weather, really.
Number 7, a city that never will, Tokyo.
Time slots, like people are gonna be waking up like at 3 a.m. Like it's basically what you're saying is that WWE is doing a Wrestle Kingdom. It's basically what it's gonna be. Right. It's gonna be a Wrestle Kingdom because the fans are not gonna react as they should. And the time slot as well. People are not going to get up and watch that. I will.
Can you imagine that? Watching WrestleMania at 11 in the morning?
Oh, it's not going to be 11 in the morning. It's going to be like at like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You're watching in the middle of the night. Like,
Can you imagine that? I
mean, I watch Wrestle Kingdom, so and I actually look forward to Wrestle Kingdom every year because of that. Because like, only I'm not staying up. There's like Cultaholic. They do their live streams, so I'm actually staying up. Kind of having their commentary in the background as I'm watching Wrestle Kingdom. So that's pretty cool. I can deal with that once a year.
Next is another city that should. Indianapolis, Indiana.
Called that one. The Lucas Oil Stadium. Yep.
Next is never will. Saudi Arabia.
We'll never say never on that one. Never say never on that one. I mean, if they're doing Crown Jewel over there, you can't. I mean, and again, the time slot's perfect too. You get a WrestleMania in the middle of the day. On a Saturday and a Sunday in the middle of the day.
It's like the main event is at 4 p.m.
I'll be down with that. To be honest, I would be down with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I would be so down with that, and then you could, if it's on a Saturday, obviously they're gonna do the 2 night. You could go out afterwards, and you can just live your life afterwards. I'll be so down with that.
It's like a pyro and fireworks are going off at 4:30. It's like, all right, now it's time to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Next is a city that should, and we just talked about it, Vegas.
That was a great call there, and I don't know why I didn't think about Vegas from before, but yeah, Vegas they are gonna get WrestleMania. It's just a matter of when.
Oh yeah. Next is a never will, India.
Yeah. Again, that's gonna be like the time slot as well. I know they have like big events there, like in the mid '90s or whatnot, but India is very big on pro wrestling, WWE. Like, people think Roman Reigns is a literal god over there. Like, seriously, like it'd be like Roman Reigns. It's crazy over there. I mean, but if they do India, that means obviously they got to appeal to the demographics. So Great Khali may have a match. He's like be like 75 years old doing bumps and stuff. And Jinder Mahal may be WWE champion again. I don't think India's a good. You know what I mean? They gotta. Yeah, India won't be a good fit.
No. Next is a city that should, but's already hosting next year, or this upcoming year, is LA.
Oh yeah, well, LA. So, what else can you say? It's LA.
And last is a never will, London.
I don't 100% agree with that.
Right.
I won't say London, but maybe somewhere in the United Kingdom. And remember, this list was 2 years ago, right?
What was 2 years ago?
You're saying this list was from 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, the list I was reading is from 20.
Yeah, that's when Vince McMahon was in charge. This is Triple H's game now. No pun intended, but
right.
Okay, maybe pun intended, but yeah, I can't. I won't say, oh, that's a for sure thing. It's gonna definitely happen sometime, but it's more likely now what it was 10 months ago.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a London pay-per-view. I mean, because there's talks about SummerSlam. I don't know if it's going to be this year. I mean, it's probably not going to be this year, but maybe SummerSlam next year could be in London. I mean, that would be pretty fucking cool. I like European pay-per-views. I mean, the Saudi pay-per-views at the end of the day are just glorified house shows. At the end of the day, like, they are what they are. People, I think, people who bitch about it's just like, we get what's happening here. It's like the Prince In the beginning, he wanted, I want Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna and Hulk Hogan. It's like, well, two of those people are dead, and one of those people can't wrestle anymore. So, he was able to get Shawn Michaels out of retirement, even though Shawn Michaels said straight up, I'm not going to wrestle anymore. And it's like, ooh, is that another zero? And, he was able to... They have a hard-on for Goldberg over there for whatever reason. I don't know why. So, they're just house shows there to make the prince happy, the Prince of Saudi Arabia. And, other shows, when we talked about, when Raw was overseas and in Canada for, SmackDown and Raw, it was like you're watching a completely different show. And then when they came back to America, it's like the crowd was just so dead for everything compared to the crowd being in Toronto and Montreal, where they were just like going apeshit for everything. So I want to see more European overseas shows. I would love to see a show in London. I would love to see a show in Tokyo would be interesting.
Right.
Australia would be pretty interesting. Maybe do some shows in like South America. Maybe Brazil, Mexico would be interesting. I'm not saying do a WrestleMania in Mexico. I'm just saying like maybe do like a, I don't know, fill in the blank. Maybe do like a Crown Jewel, but in Mexico. A Crown Jewel-esque show.
What they should do, they should do some. If they go to Mexico City, you know what they should do, and this would be very good. WWE AAA. WWE AAA like a crossover or WWE CMLL crossover. Mm-hmm. That would be great. That would be great because what that's gonna do is it's obviously gonna get more eyes on the Mexican luchador wrestling product. You got wrestlers in WWE that's gonna sell the tickets alone. Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. You know what I mean? Like, just Rey Mysterio alone is gonna sell out. Period. Rey Mysterio is going to sell out any stadium in Mexico if his name's on the card. Period. So it doesn't even matter who else you have on there. And that's Humberto and Angel and all that.
You also have Escobar and then possibly Andrade coming back because Andrade just said he's done with AEW. You're right. Now they're on the topic of crossovers. Let's talk about this. So, Carl Anderson announced that he'll be defending his Never Openweight Championship against Bullet Club stablemate Hakulio at NJPW Battle Autumn on November the 5th. However, he was able to make the defense due to being booked for Crown Jewel. Let's see. NJPW issued a press release stating that Anderson versus Hakulio will officially go down during the Super Junior and World Tag League 2022 finals on December 14th. It will be Anderson's second defense of the Never Openweight Championship since defeating Tama Tonga for the title earlier this year. Anderson's only title defense was against Hiroshi Tanahashi in September. In the past, NJPW and blah, blah, blah. So, Carl Anderson, currently under contract with WWE, is going to be working overseas in NJPW, which it could be just... It's one of those things where it's interesting. It can't just be a nothing burger because in the past, under the old regime, this would have never even happened. Now you got Triple H and and Stephanie running the show, and you're seeing more and more of this happening. Because you got Nakamura having a match with the Great Muta overseas for his last match. Nakamura is a WWE talent. Now the same thing with Carl Anderson. He was the Never Openweight champion, and they still signed him, and they're allowing him to keep his belt and defend his title overseas. So, what does that tell you about what WWE is looking to do with this new regime?
They're looking to expand wrestling to what they want to be professional wrestling. They want to be professional wrestling. Like they want to go back to wrestling of 70s with a more athletic style. Want to go back to the storytelling. They want to go back to I don't I won't say of the 70s as far as like, oh, they're gonna be territorial, but as far as like talent exchanges, right? Like, even like in 1993, Smoky Valley Wrestling, right? Was in WWE and actually in WCW too as well. But like 1998, the NWA when Jeff Jarrett came back, right, and the whole storyline with Jeff Jarrett and Barry Windham and the Rock and Roll Express. I think that was the last like. I mean, no, probably that probably wasn't the last challenge exchange because like I remember like in the early 2000s, like Kane and Undertaker was doing matches in other indie feds. But anyway,
Smoky Mountain.
No. It was after that. I think this is like Biker Taker. I want to say. He had a couple matches. A couple appearances on the Indies, but I totally forget. But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good for wrestling. It's good for wrestling. I want to see the first major American promotion is gonna come over and cross over to WWE. Not gonna be AEW. That's gonna be the last one. We see Impact. We kind of got that. Maybe not kind of, but like yeah, we did kind of get that with Mickie James this year. Did anyone remember Mickie James was in the Royal Rumble this year, and she had Hardcore Country with the Impact title? That tells you how wild 2022 is. 2022 has been the wildest wrestling year I've ever lived through, and there's nothing close to it. There's nothing close that's gonna compare to 2022 in my life. I don't think. But nevertheless, though, like, who is going to be that first, American promotion that is going to, have a talent exchange with WWE, right? I mean, will it be Impact? Will it be GCW? Will it be MLW? I can see something like MLW.
Wasn't there a rumor? I'm sorry. Wasn't there a rumor going around that GCW and WWE were doing like a thing? They had like a thing going on for a minute.
Oh, was it MLW? No, they had they had something going on with something with the talent, right? Of contract tampering, I want to say.
Right.
I think it's something of that nature. But no, WWE and Evolved, and I guess, well, okay, you know what? The talent exchange was NXT and Evolve. That was probably the last like bit of talent exchange that I seen because. On the Evolve pay-per-view that aired on the WWE Network, like it was like Adam Cole versus fuck me, I forgot. I may have to look this up. It was like Adam Cole versus somebody. Velveteen Dream, when he was North American champion, he had a match with Orange Cassidy. He had a match with Orange Cassidy on one of the Evolve shows. So, yeah, so. I stand corrected with saying that they haven't done anything since the early 2000s, but so yeah, Evolve Wrestling and NXT, but yeah, I mean we got to see on what's going to happen on this main roster, and hopefully the main roster has something good involved, but even up to. Like in 2020, Mansoor was on the Evolve Wrestling show. I mean, but a lot of WWE talent came from Evolve. So like you have, let's see here, you have
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory, of course, right? He was Evolve champion. Joe Gacy, Josh Briggs, Jake Atlas. Anthony Green, before he came to WWE for a little bit. You had Leon Ruff that was there too as well. Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson there too. Yeah, I mean, so they had some people there. They definitely had some people there. I'm trying to find the whatchamacallit. I don't see it though. Well, I mean, where is it? I can't find it. But regardless of, like, Dexter Lumis made appearances down there and Evolved. Like Eddie Kingston. And Eddie Kingston was on this pay-per-view I was thinking about too as well. Now I'm thinking about it. Eddie Kingston was on the pay-per-view as well. Was this 2019, I want to say? May have been 2019. May have been 2019. Let's see. NXT. Can't find it.
That's fine.
Can't find it.
So let's move on to the next topic. This is an interesting topic, by the way, but we still got much more to cover. So before we get to the reviews of the review and predictions, so let's just kind of talk a little bit about Raw and NXT. A few things happened of note. On Raw, you had, the whole show seemed like it was focused on Judgment Day and the OC, and then they had a nice pull apart. They had a nice little parking lot brawl at the end, so I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And then Mia Yim had 2 name changes in the same night. So they called her Mi Chin. Am I getting that right? Mi Chin?
Mi Chin, yeah.
So they called her Mi Chin, and it's weird because they kept referring to her as Mi Chin for the whole night, and then Kevin Patrick calls her Mia Yim, and then Rhea Ripley calls her Maya, and then, Bianca says Mi Chin, and the audience just kind of groans. And then the very next day, the website refers to her back as Mia Yim. So the first time I can remember someone trying to use a name, like a really bad name change, and then the very next night they decided to go back to the original name. So that's just fucking insane. But the pull apart with the OC and the Judgment Day were pretty cool. Beginning of the night, you had Judgment Day come out to confront the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre, which ended up being a 3-on-3 with the Judgment Day, Dominic, Finn, and Damian versus the Brawling Brutes. Drew McIntyre was on the outside. Kevin Owens was on commentary, which is always entertaining. And it was a fun match. It was a fun match, as you can imagine. And the Brawling Brutes got the win, which, as they should, because you gotta make them look strong going into Saturday. And afterwards, you had Kevin Owens stun Finn. So, what did you think about the beginning of the night, the promos, and the match?
I thought Raw at the beginning was good. It accomplished what it needed to accomplish. Great promo from Kevin Owens. His focus is on Roman Reigns, not Sami Zayn. They're still friends, and that's gonna come to a head in the match at War Games match at Survivor Series. So, I thought the opening match was good as well, fun. It accomplished a lot of things. It made, it gave. I would say Raw Monday, it was boring. Well, I won't say right. It was bad. It was just boring. It didn't add anything to Survivor Series for me in War Games. However, this opening segment was good, though. Very good.
Yeah, Raw wasn't really all that great, so we're not going to review every single thing on Raw. We're just going to mainly hit on the things that I guess were of note, which were far and few between. You had Johnny Gargano, who was supposed to face The Miz, and then The Miz did the typical chicken shit heel thing, and then he brought out Omos instead. Omos beat Gargano, as he should. I thought Omos was selling a little bit too much for Gargano, but whatever. Gargano lately has been losing to a lot of bigger people, which good, because that was always my critique on Johnny Gargano and NXT. It's like, why are all these bigger guys like Bronson Reed who had to sell for Gargano? I just thought that was just gross. And now you have him on the main roster against bigger guys like Corbin and Otis and Omos, and it's like, good, he should be losing to them, and they should not be selling.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying there, but right. That's kind of like the same argument with like Rey Mysterio versus Undertaker. Like when Rey Mysterio he broke his overall bumble. Like even like in matches, like Undertaker was kind of like selling to him a little bit.
Well,
I mean,
I mean, it's Rey Mysterio. I mean, it's one of those things of like it's Rey Mysterio, so he's the exception and not the rule. Like if it's Rey Mysterio versus Mark Henry, that's a different story. If it's Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show, that's a different story. But Taker, I think, can get away with that because Taker is a big guy, but he's more of an agile big guy that can move on his feet. Same thing with Kane. So
Bronson Reed could move on his feet too as a big guy.
Yeah, but then again, I don't remember Undertaker having to sell literally everything for Ray, and Undertaker doing 2 tombstones on Ray and Ray kicking out of both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Right, and again, I don't even hate Gargano. I actually do like Gargano, but it's just like he has a place on the show, but it's just like he needs to kind of play the role better, which lately he has been. So good. Next, you had Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory. Before the match, I believe this. I don't know if this is before or after the match, but Theory continuing his new heel role and just beating the shit out of people. And backstage, him and Ali got into a fight, and he threw Ali into Bobby Lashley, which continuing that feud, and that goes into our Survivor Series predictions. Yeah, the Alpha Academy versus Elias and Matt Riddle. Elias and Matt Riddle won. Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre went into the Baron and JBL's poker game and slapped Corbin in the face or punched him in the face. I'm sorry, after telling him or telling JBL, I respect you, but I don't respect him. And then the main event, you had Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. I did not see that. That's when I kind of tapped out for the night. So, did you watch the match? And if so, what'd you think?
I mean, it was what you expect out of the two. It wasn't, groundbreaking great or anything like that, but it was a decent match. It was decent.
And I remember before that there was a promo with Bianca coming out and saying, we're going to reveal who our 5th member is, but not till Friday on SmackDown, which the audience started groaning.
I thought that was dumb, because and at the end of the day, like, I was wrong about Sasha. Threw it out there as a like a what if. But I did kind of say, oh, she's definitely coming back, but kind of like after last week, it's kind of like I don't think she's coming back, at least for a while. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be Becky Lynch. Becky, who is a Raw superstar, need her to be announced on SmackDown for that.
Yeah, that's weird.
So okay, whatever. Don't agree with it there, but I mean, and it should be a fun War Games match for the women. Now this is my crazy conspiracy thinking, right? What if that we're thinking it's gonna be Becky, we're expecting Becky, and it ends up being somebody like Sasha Banks, or it ends up being somebody like a returning Chelsea Green, because they better announce this Friday. They better announce this Friday, because if they go into Boston on Saturday and they don't deliver Sasha Banks, it's a failure. You can bring out, I don't care who the hell you bring out. You can bring out Britt Baker, even though it's not going to happen. I'm just saying. You can bring out Britt Baker. If it's not Sasha Banks in Boston, it is a failure. So they better announce this on Friday, whoever it is.
That'd be interesting if, it's, Sasha, because, she's from Boston. And then you got Survivor Series in Boston. So I don't know, that would be interesting. Yeah. I mean, that'd be interesting, because last I checked, Sasha, she's a SmackDown competitor, correct? Or she was on SmackDown.
She's a SmackDown competitor. She'll be joining a women's Raw War Games match.
I don't know.
But at this point, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter, because she's been away for so long anyway. It doesn't matter what brand she's on.
Yeah, I mean, it's WWE kind of does shit like that, but
you're right. You're right.
If it's Becky or Sasha, it's gonna get a big pop. I think it'll be bigger if it's Sasha, for obvious reasons. So that was Raw. NXT happened last night. it was the first time I watched NXT in a while, so
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad. It was enjoyable, even though there were some parts I was just like, okay. The beginning of the show, Toxic Attraction came out. Gigi just looking thicker every week. Jesus Christ.
You see her recent picture? I think she uploaded like on Instagram.
Oh, good God, I did.
God, man.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Nash Carter's a lucky man. Lucky son of a bitch.
Carter?
Yeah, Nash Carter. He's dating her.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they took a picture of it on they seem like a very private couple because they don't want to be that kind of couple that like constantly takes pictures of each other. So, but yeah, they uploaded a picture together, like just one single picture.
Whoa, good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Good for him actually. But yeah, they came out and continued their feud with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, and I believe Nikita came out to kind of even the odds, and yeah, you got that. Next, you had Cora Jade versus Wendy Chu.
I really like. I like both of them, but I really think Wendy Chu's underrated. Really think she is.
She's good. The whole sleeping gimmick, the whole sleep apnea gimmick, it was cute for maybe like 2 weeks, but then it's just like, okay. All right, let's. Is there something else you can do? But
no, I mean, granted, it has a small ceiling, the gimmick itself. But I'm just saying, like her in ring is.
Oh no!
She's gotten a lot better because when she first came in as Karen Q and into the Mae Young Classic, and I've been watching her since like 2016, 2017. She was raw, but she's really developed into be a pretty good wrestler.
Oh no, I'm not doubting her in-ring shows. Her in-ring shows are fine. They're just the whole sleeping gimmick is what it is. But yeah, like you said, it has kind of a small ceiling. But Cora Jade coming out, and I can't front. Cora Jade looks fucking good. I can't front. I think she sucks.
But you know what? Braun Breaker knew what he was doing.
He's breaking that.
Okay, yeah.
Braun smash. Even though he doesn't.
Braun and vagina.
Braun smash vagina. Yeah, she looks good. I can't lie. Ever since she became a heel, she be looking good in them. She be looking good in them shorts. I can't even lie. I can't lie, but she still sucks in the ring. Yeah, this match was what it was, and then Wendy Chu started crying for no reason. I don't get why.
Maybe this could be a gimmick change, actually.
After Cora threw a soda in her face, I don't know, but.
Well, I mean, usually when they play up and play like long on to a certain emotion, right? It's like, oh, Wendy's broken. She's crying. She's embarrassed. I'm not saying that's gonna be a full on gimmick change, but like maybe she'll have more of a serious side to her now.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, kind of like with Nikki. Nikki. Yeah. When, stopped doing the superhero gimmick, and before that she was showing more of a serious side, and now she's back to being crazy Nikki. So
maybe be gradual. I'll give it a couple months to see where it goes.
Yeah, good, because I like Wendy Chu, and I want to see her on more of a prominent role in the show, and not just being the comedy shtick. You know what I mean? Because like when you're stuck in the comedy shtick, you're basically just, like you said, you have a small ceiling.
You may have a small ceiling, but you may have a long longevity in the company. Santino, right. R-Truth, people like that.
Yeah, true, but at the same time, it's like someone like R-Truth, who was, his name is Ron Killings. When he was in, NWA TNA, he was treated as more of a serious athlete, and he was the first black NWA champion. And then he came back to WWE, and then they made him a joke character. And which again, he seems like he's happy.
He had that serious role in 2011.
Yeah, but it was still kind of a comedy gimmick.
Not at first. When Capital Punishment 2011, he was supposed to be taken as a serious heel. Then it eventually turned into the Little Jimmies and things of that nature. It was maybe like a 2 month span where R-Truth was because remember, you gotta think about it too. Remember R-Truth, main event Survivor Series with the Miz, The Rock, and John Cena. He was treated as a short time upper mid upper well, sorry, not upper mid card, but like, you know, low main event upper mid card type of, you know, heel. So I thought he had a couple months where it was kind of serious, and like it wasn't long, you know. In 2012, you know, that was all the way out the window where he was just talking about little Jimmy's and just talking to himself. So yeah,
but yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a job for life. He's fine where he is. Then you had Scripps making Scripps. All right, so for
this was a
weeks,
disappointment.
for weeks, you know, there are vignettes of somebody named Scripps who was calling into the WWE Performance Center and leaving very cryptic messages. Ooh, and I personally wasn't really like hyped about it. Like, to be honest, I forgot about it until I saw it last night. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. So it's Reggie, wearing a luchador mask for reasons, and comes out and wrestles Guru Raj. He gets the win. But yeah, this is Scripps. What else can I say about it? Like, your thoughts?
I mean, to me, I won't say I was hyped for it per se. I was anticipating, and the reason why I was anticipating because the promo was like, "I'm going to destroy NXT," you know, or whatever the case may be. It's only being Reggie. It's like, oh man, like first of all, Reggie looks like Serpentico from AEW. That and that's never good there. But I'm glad. Like, and we did our bang bus or whatever it was.
Bang bus? No, split bus flip.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Well, we do talk about bang bus on the show, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we did our bang bus, and yeah, no, like, and I said, you know, I'll let go Reggie. I did say that. I am happy that he is gaining an opportunity. Again, just the perception of the vignettes, the promos, the perception was that I thought it was going to be like some big guy coming in, like someone that we haven't seen before yet, someone that's been working on the Performance Center, and is finally going to get his TV debut. And the fact that, you know, and the fact that, it was just Reggie, and that's, it's not only just Reggie, it's like Reggie in a bad mask. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot. You know what I mean? But I don't see this going anywhere. I really don't.
You know what that reminded me of? You ever seen the movie Max Payne?
No, I've seen a little bit of it, but I played the games, obviously.
Yeah, it's based off the game. So, like, there's a scene in the movie. Sorry, there's a scene in the movie where Mark Wahlberg is like walking out of the house, and then I forget who the actor's name was. God damn it, suck. I forget who the actor's name was, but like he came up to Mark Wahlberg and like he sees this car coming down the street, and the actor's telling Mark Wahlberg is like, "Oh, this is a new detective. He's a real ball buster." And you're expecting like somebody who looks like, you know, a tough badass. Out comes the car, Ludacris. Ludacris Chris Bridges.
Oh my god.
Like, when you're thinking of badass and ball buster and just a real tough guy dick, who are you thinking of? You're not thinking of Ludacris.
That's just Ludacris that you told me that.
Luda. So basically, Reggie, or Scripps in this case, is Ludacris. But moving on with NXT, you had Schism come out to, I guess, do a Thanksgiving thing. And they picked a fan out of the arena and put him through a table for a sacrifice, blah, 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 blah. And then Charlie Dempsey, who's the son of William Regal, correct? He cut a promo talking about the legitimacy of the NXT locker room. So I haven't seen enough of him, so I need to see more. But I mean, I like the promo. It seemed impressive. The guy can talk.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I just can talk. I just want his character to be established to find out what kind of exact character that he's going to be. Just him, like, hey, I'm a true wrestler. That's only gonna go so far.
right.
With that, just going back on the whole schism thing as well. At first, I wasn't too much of a fan of schism, but they're slowly gave me over. They're slowly gave me over here with their gimmick. So, yeah, I just want to see more of them.
So, yeah, I mean, they're interesting. I mean, I think Ava, or Simone, whatever you want to call her, well, her name is Ava on the show. I think she's doing fine in her role. She can obviously talk. Like, she seems like she's really comfortable out there when she's talking. She doesn't stutter or go crazy or whatever. But like, she seems like
not talk. Dar the Rock.
I mean, we talked about this. We're not expecting her to be like her dad. I mean, they're
not to be like her dad per se. I don't expect her to be like, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. But like, there's some things that I'll say you have to have. But like if she's like 50% of Rock's promos, and then that's enough for me right there. You know what I mean?
I just want her to be good. That's all I care about. Like, be good in the ring. I mean, be really good in the ring. Be really good on the mic. Do you have to be your dad? No, you don't. Just be you. That's all you have to be. Like, unfortunately, there's going to be people out there that are going to try to use a scale and be like, oh, this isn't how your dad did it. It's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Next is Zoe Stark versus Sol Ruka. Zoe won, beat the shit out of Ruka, and then Lyons came out to make the save with all that ass. Braun Breaker cut a weird promo talking about fishing. It was a vignette about fishing, so okay.
Oh, that was kind of out there as well, yeah.
Apollo Crews got one earlier where he talked about being in NXT and wanting to win the NXT Championship at Deadline. 2 more matches. Yeah, the NXT Championship, Pretty Deadly versus Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. I like this. I'm not gonna lie, I like this because Duke Hudson was one of those guys. I saw him come into NXT. I'm like, all right, what is this guy? Like, who is he? What is he doing? When they paired him with what's her name, Persia? Persia Parada. I thought that was interesting, like him playing off of Duke Hudson and Indy Hartwell. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought that gave him more of a character because he's supposed to be this stoic guy, but turns out he has a personality. Like when he was doing like the gambling, poker card player, I'm like, I don't get it. Like I didn't get it. Now that he's with Andre Chase, another guy who I like, who has a great personality, who's like really over the top and wacky, it works for Duke Hudson. So I like this pairing, and I like the match. I thought the match was fun. It wasn't the greatest match in the world, but it was fun. It did its job, and of course, Pretty Deadly won, and they retained their titles. What do you think?
I don't think Pretty Deadly gets enough credit, enough respect. I love Pretty Deadly, man. I won't say that they're like the greatest tag team of all time or anything like that, but like they got something that you should always have in pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. Is that you can wrestle in the ring, get a response from the crowd, and you're charismatic. All three things. And all those three things doesn't mean that, I don't think they're like the best tag team in the world or anything, but damn, man, I think they deserve more respect than what they're given. And also as well with Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. I mean, to your point with Duke Hudson as well, I love Chase U, right? I'm kind of sad that Bodie's not there because I really like Bodie as a character. So, and Thea Hale, I kind of, I already made comments about her as well. I love her energy, her spunkiness. Like, like usually with some people in that role, that scrappiness, it's kind of it'll become annoying. With her, you can just tell that's just her as a person.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's cringe, right? If you see it and they have like a little spunky attitude, like, oh, let me get at him. But you can tell that's like really just her. Really, that's really just her. I mean, and I think it's adorable that she does that too as well. So, yeah, I mean, fun match.
Now we get to the main event, the NXT North American Championship. Wesley, the champion, defending against the former two-time North American champion Carmelo Hayes. Great match. I mean, as expected. I mean, these two are really good. I love Wesley. I'm glad that they didn't give up on him whenever his partner left, and they saw something in him that we didn't see, because when they let his partner go, you just assumed, okay, he's gonna be joining them pretty soon. No, they didn't give up on him. They saw something in him that we didn't see, and it's just like one thing I like about Wesley promos is that it sounds sincere. It sounds genuine. It makes me feel something, and like he just seems like a very likable guy. And I like the fact that he's getting this push, and I like the fact that he's in a top spot on the show. So good for Wesley, and also, hey, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I've done a 180 on the guy. When I first saw him, again, RJ likes to, hound me about this, but I just thought he was generic the first time I saw him. He was a very generic wrestler. It was like, yeah, he looks good, he can cut a promo, he can wrestle, but what does he have? Like, what does he have that's interesting? And he's won me over. Like, he's really goddamn good. He's money. And he's bound for the main roster pretty soon. So, naturally, these two matched up well. I mean, they're kind of like the same build. I think Hayes might be a little bit more thicker than Wesley. But these two really matched up well. Great match. And Wesley won, as he should have. And where this leaves Hayes, I'm assuming NXT Championship down the line, maybe. And we'll get into what happened after the match. But what did you think about the match?
A great match, fantastic match. Top 3 match of the week. So far, because we still got SmackDown. And I'm talking about on TV. I'm obviously not gonna count Survivor Series because it's gonna be unfair with that pay-per-view lineup. Great match. These guys have chemistry with each other. Really like what I saw here overall. Carmelo is gonna show why he will have a WrestleMania main event in his career in WWE. I definitely see that out of him. He has the look, he has the wrestling ability. He can talk. The only thing that's holding him back, I just think he's a tad too short, but that's minor. That's minor in the Triple H era. If this was still Vince McMahon, I would say, damn, he has to at least be 5 to 6 more inches taller to have a chance. But yeah, no, I think overall was a fun match. Both guys put on a very, very good showing here, and Wesley is looking to be a strong champion so far.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Again, I'm loving Wesley, and he's definitely my choice for most improved of the year. Because we have the year-end awards coming up on December 30th, and I honestly he's my pick of most improved. I have to say. So we'll get to after the match. So after the match, Wesley's celebrating, and you see the return of Donovan Dijakovic to NXT. Last time we saw him, he was T-Bar with Retribution, and now he's back as Donovan Dijakovic, and I guess his new gimmick is that he's, I don't know, the Terminator or some kind of 80s stereotypical cop.
He's the frontman from Judas Priest.
Okay, there you go. He came out with like these really, cool looking sunglasses and a sports coat or whatever, and just I think he chokeslammed Wesley. So Dijak is back, which is good because I like Dijak, and he's a guy that when he was a singles competitor in  when he was having his matches with Keith Lee, it's just like, okay, this guy's good, but he needs something. He needs a character change. He needs a gimmick, maybe a manager, because he's talented, but what else can he do? He's not that interesting. And then they try to do something with Retribution, and yeah. So with this, it's a wait and see thing. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm glad to see him, but what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do that's interesting? You know what I mean? So that's NXT. Let's get to Full Gear. Full Gear happened this past weekend. It was in Newark, New Jersey, in the Prudential Center. It was on Saturday, November the 19th. And they were, 13 matches, and that's including 3 pre-show matches. Oh boy. I believe there was a match that was actually taken off the show, and it was
Ricky Starks versus Ethan Page, which happened tonight on Mike.
We'll get to the results after we go through the pre-show matches. So, first match on the pre-show, you had the Best Friends defeating the Factory, which consisted of QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, Lee Johnson, Nick Comoroto, and Cole Carter. This is a 10-man tag. Match was 11 minutes and 55 seconds. It was what you would think it was.
Yeah, Danhausen coming out with a little bit more edge, right? So hopefully this is a character development of the evil Danhausen. The Danhausen that I actually seen on the Indies maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, where he had like a devilish look, he had like a really awesome look in the Indies before he came into the comedy character. So I'm not saying that he'll go back to the devil, pretty much. But if they put hints of that in there, I think it'll be enjoyable. But that was the main story of this match.
Next, you had Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage in a AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament semifinals. Jesus Christ! This match was 10 minutes. This match was okay. It was probably one of the better showings of Brian Cage that I've seen, and Ricky Starks kind of forced Brian Cage to be more grounded and less, flippy, dippy doodahs. So Ricky Starks won this. He went on to face Ethan Page tonight. Who won the match?
Ricky Starks won.
Hell fucking yeah. Good for Ricky Starks. So Ricky Starks will be getting
here's my thing. Here's my thing about this tournament. And I don't know if I mentioned last week. I think I did mention last week. I think I asked the question. If you win this tournament, what does the winner get?
A world title match.
Okay. And what's going to happen?
I'm assuming he's going to face the world champion at Winter's Coming.
Okay, and what's going to happen there?
Well, based on who the world champion is, which we'll get to later on in the review, the world champion's going to win.
Yeah, so, I mean, it doesn't matter. So, everyone knows MJF's the champion. So basically, Ricky Starks is being fed to MJF. What's the point of the tournament then? To me, like, all these tournaments and things of that nature is being overused, oversaturated in AEW for really the winner to get nothing. A lot of these winners of these tournaments, of these championship eliminator tournaments, they don't win anything. They win the tournament and they're built up for a couple weeks and then they're pushed back down. So I don't see this being. And look, I'll give it a month. I don't see this doing anything for Ricky Starks. I don't see us doing anything. And I love Ricky Starks, by the way. I'm just saying, do you trust Tony Khan to follow up with this? I don't.
Nope.
So there you go.
Hell no. Unless it's any of the elite boys. Other than that, Ricky Starks ain't getting shit. I know. The whole thing is, even if you win, you still lose. Yeah, Ricky Starks is gonna lose. He's just gonna lose. Nothing's gonna happen.
So he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose against MJF. Should be a good match. Should be a good match. You know what I mean? These guys have a pass. Should be a very good match. Ricky deserves a world title shot. But what's gonna happen is gonna be like, Ricky Starks got a world title shot, but like, does it become a main eventer now?
I mean, you would hope so.
Title? Gonna go after the TNT title? No, I mean, maybe after the TNT title, maybe we'll see. This is not going to make him a main eventer. People who think that this is going to make him a main eventer, you're wrong, my friend. You're so wrong, because you still got guys out there like Bryan Danielson and Moxley, and you got MJF, obviously, who's the champion, right? You know what I mean? I will put Darby Allin over Ricky Starks. Jungle Boy, and we'll talk about Jungle Boy in a little bit too as well, but Jungle Boy is going to be in the main event scene sooner rather than later. Definitely so. Definitely with MJF as champion. So
I would hope so.
I digress.
Next is Eddie Kingston versus Jun Akiyama in a singles match. Eddie Kingston wins. Yeah, this is. I mean, I can't be a dick. All right, I'm not going to be a dick about this. This was to make Eddie Kingston happy, and Eddie Kingston obviously seemed like he was happy. He was crying after the match because he got to face his hero or one of his heroes. So, hey, good on Eddie. I'm not going to be a dick. I'm just going to say good on Eddie. Good for Eddie.
I thought it was a good match. It wasn't great, but I thought it was good.
So now we'll get to the main show. First match of the night, Steel Cage. You have Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus with Christian Cage.
A good match. Jungle Boy winning or whatnot. Good opening match. The elbow drop from the top of the cage was dangerous. Luckily, he didn't hurt himself there, but this Jungle Boy got color here, which is I think it's the first time I ever seen him got color. So did what he needed to do. Jungle Boy wins this feud for now. But again, I think Jungle Boy is prime to face off against F after this MJF Jon Moxley story's over. Once that's over, I definitely see Jungle Boy and MJF in a feud, and that's gonna be. I mean, obviously MJF's still gonna win that or whatnot, right? But for now, I see maybe Revolution, because Revolution is in March, so that's this is the longest period between AEW pay-per-views every year, which is 4 months. But I think that you will see MJF versus Jungle Boy at Revolution. I think we may get MJF and Mox somewhere in between there. Maybe in January. Maybe in January. I think we will get MJF versus Mox again on Dynamite or something. But if it goes all the way to Revolution, that's a 4-month storyline right there, which is like, I don't think it has the legs to get there. I really don't. Oh, they have to do it at they have to do it at a Dynamite. They maybe have Jungle Boy versus MJF at Revolution.
So yeah, the match was fine for what it was. I mean, one thing I'll say about AEW is their steel cage was pretty fucking cool. Like it's really tall and like over it, like it's bigger than the ring, so I think that's cool.
Dangerous.
I mean, it actually looks like a fucking what a steel cage match is supposed to be. It looks dangerous, like you said. I guess it's weird because like they never really specify what the rules of the steel cage are, because there is a spot where Jungle Boy is running out of the cage to go after Christian, and then Luchasaurus joins him. So it's just like, okay, did they not specify that you can't exit the cage to win? Like, I don't know, it's just weird. But Jungle Boy getting color was interesting. My only problem with the match, and this is my problem with a lot of the matches on the show, it's just like there were a lot of times during each match where I'm like, okay, this is the ending. Okay, it's not the ending. Then what the fuck is the ending of the match? So it's just like they love to do these really long matches that don't need to be long matches. That's my complaint. That's one of my many complaints. But yeah, just the ending of the spot where he goes for like the big move and then he decides to go for the submission. It's just like you probably could have just pinned him. Like if you're doing a big spot like that, you should have just easily pinned him. But that's just me. I digress, like you said. And then Jungle Boy. That's the word because I like Jungle Boy. He's talented. He has a look. He is a good looking kid, so he appeals to the women in the ring, and the guys maybe. It's weird because when he talks, he sounds like he feels really uncomfortable on the microphone. But from what I heard, like has a personality. He's actually pretty cool to be around. It's just like his dad was Luke Perry. His dad was a known Hollywood actor that was known for being the cool guy. So it's just like, how does that not rub off on you when you're in wrestling? So it's just like somebody needs to tell this guy. It's just like eventually, like you said, with MJF as the champion, you need a strong baby face. You need a strong white meat baby face that the fans can go for. And the fans love Jungle Boy, but it's just like, if you're going to be going against, MJF, a lot of that's going to be promo work, and MJF does fine in that department. Jungle Boy needs to step that up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he has to be like MJF. I'm just saying, like, you have to step it up because MJF will tear you to shreds. That's all I'm saying on the mic. So Jungle Boy won this. Next, you have Death Triangle versus Kenny Omega and the Elite Bucks for the there's a 6-man tag match for the AEW Trios Championship. I skipped this match. I actually had a headache in the beginning of the show, so I went to take a shower to kind of clear my mind a little bit, and I missed the whole match. So tell me what happened in the match.
Very, very, very damn good match. Very good. Probably we're saying match of the year. I'm not gonna go that far. One of the matches of the year. But if you put in your top 10, I wouldn't complain. It was, obviously it was a spot fest or whatnot, but just the crowd being electric, and you can see that, and the time off has helped the Bucks and Kenny Omega because they look healthy, they look 100%. So maybe it was like a blessing in disguise because obviously Kenny Omega he came back still hurt. You know what I mean? It wasn't fully 100% when he came back, but now he looks 100%. Looks like Kenny Omega. And the Young Bucks, they look good in this match as well. Penta looked great. Phoenix is incredible. Pac looked great as well. With the Death Triangle winning, I was surprised because I thought the Elite was winning, but now they're doing a best of 7 series, which I don't agree with, because you're going to have 7 straight weeks of them wrestling each other, which is very, very questionable, I will say. Even though I won't say the matches will be boring or not exciting or even good or anything, it's like, okay, like how many times we're gonna see this match in a course of 2 months? We're gonna see, because they are gonna do all 7. There's no way that they're not gonna do all 7 matches. I mean, in wrestling, very rarely, in a 2-on-3 falls match, very rarely you see someone win 2 falls straight. Very, very rarely that you see something like this where a best of 7 series, every best of 7 series matches, they always go 7, no matter what. It's wrestling. It's for dramatic effect. The first 6 matches are not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. It's all about that 7th match. So, as far as this match was, it was pretty awesome. I liked it a lot.
All right. Next, you had the AEW TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose. Oh boy.
Jade won. Nyla's still losing to women. I'll leave it at that.
That's all that needs to be said about this match. Next is the 4-way for the...
I will say this. Jade came out as a Chitara from Thundercats. Pretty cool cosplay. We'll say that.
All right. Next is the 4-way for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Chris Jericho defending the championship against Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara.
Match long. This is too long.
I was a little disappointed by this match because I wanted it to be so much better than it was. Because you have Danielson, who's really goddamn good. You have Claudio, who's really goddamn good. You have Jericho, who, when he wants to, can be really goddamn good. I mean, more so modern Jericho. And then Guevara is more of the wild card. So Guevara, depending on who you put him in the ring with, if he's in the ring with somebody who can guide him, he's really goddamn good, in my opinion. But a lot of this match was basically just spot. Let's do our finisher, and then kick out. Shtick. So it's just like, oh boy, like this to me, this is a little bit of a letdown of a match, in my opinion. I think we called Jericho winning because they're going to want to do they're eventually going to want to do a Ring of Honor show, and they need a star to sell the show. So Jericho, we called winning, and that's
we got Final Battle coming up next month, so we're gonna find out. I'm pretty sure soon who Jericho's gonna face at Final Battle. Should be interesting.
All right. Next is Saraya versus Britt Baker singles match.
For it to be Saraya's first match back, I thought this was a pretty good match. Wasn't great or anything like that. Kind of safe. Expected Saraya to win. She won, but Britt did okay in this match as well. I mean, I thought Britt was a little bit more because sometimes it seems like she's checked out on her matches. It seems like she's not. I won't say that she's not trying, but it seems like she's not fully concentrated. But in this match here, it looks like it was all systems go with her. She was clicking. It's pretty good here. So I expect this match to be I won't say like terrible, but I expect this match to be a disappointment, and it ended up just being a good match, which is good for me.
It was fine. It was fine for what it was. I mean, because you weren't really expecting a lot out of both women, and I don't really mean that as an insult, because Britt, like you said, she has matches lately where it seems like she's checking out, and I think she realized I can't check out in a match with someone who hasn't wrestled in 5 years. So, and also they had a broken neck, so she did all that she could to carry Saraya, and Saraya, again, kind of have to, I know I'm going to sound like a dick. It looked like she was getting blown up in the match, like she was getting winded, and again, she hasn't wrestled in 5 years. She had a neck injury, so naturally she's going to get blown up. And also, to her credit, I'll give her credit, in the scrum, she admitted, I was getting blown up out there. I was getting gassed up, and, Britt had to carry me. So, to her credit, she admitted, hey, shit happens. So, the match was fine. It was fine for what it was. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was fine. And, I liked, her bringing her brother, and then she goes to ringside and hugs her brothers to kind of like tell the story. So, I mean, we'll see what else Saraya can do. Okay, everyone knows how I feel about Saraya Paige. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I never wanted her to get re-injured in the match. I was actually worried about that the whole time. Like, is she going to get hurt? What else she can do? And Britt took care of her, so good on Britt. Let's see what Saraya can do in AEW, but I don't trust a lot of the women in the company. That's all I'm going to say. Next, you had the three-way for the AEW TNT Championship. You had Samoa Joe versus Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Wasn't too much of a fan of this match. Shocked that Samoa Joe won. Why did he need to win? Didn't really make sense for him to win this match. He's already the TV champion, Ring of Honor. I don't understand it. The TNT title went from a title that had prestige 1 year ago. 1 year ago, at prestige. Now I won't say it's a joke title, but it's hard to be your second biggest title of the company. For what Cody said, remember what Cody said. Cody was like, hey, I want this title to be as big as a world title. Yeah, it's not the world title, but maybe this can main event a show. Maybe this can main event a pay-per-view. It's definitely not that, and it's not going to be that. and that kind of shows. I like Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe, actually. But what does Samoa Joe do?
Exactly. Like
What does Samoa Joe do for this title? Is Samoa Joe bringing in more eyes to the product? He's not doing that. It's fantastic in what he does. I love him to death. I really do. Let's call a spade a spade. He's not. If Samoa Joe would have leave AEW tonight, it has no impact on the reigns whatsoever.
Nope. Well, I mean, granted, there's a lot of people that probably wouldn't have an impact on the ratings they left, but
right. But what I'm saying is that Samoa Joe, he's in his 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I believe he's in his 40s. Look that up real quick. I think he's in his 40s. Yeah, he's 43. So yeah, so Samoa Joe, he's in his 40s. You got two young stars here, of Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, I thought Wardlow was going to win.
I mean,
if he were to lose, he should have won. But if the titles will have to change, at least give it to a younger guy who hasn't won a singles title on national TV before. Joe has been world champion in TNA and NXT, and has had WrestleMania matches, and just. Yeah, it's not good look. Not good look. Not good look for AEW right now. And AEW was really plaguing AEW right now to me. A lot of people could say what they want about the whole MJF storyline or with the Elite coming back or whatnot. Like, okay, well, MJF, the Elite, they are AEW. Whether you like them or not. They identify with AEW. Samoa Joe does not identify with AEW. Ring of Honor does not identify with AEW, the original concept of AEW. So this whole Ring of Honor thing has really, really been hurting the product. It seems like Dynamite has turned into Ring of Honor. Everything Ring of Honor this, Ring of Honor that. Now tonight's Dynamite from while I was watching, because I watched the first hour, then we came on here for the second hour. Definitely no Ring of Honor type of vibes on there, which is good. But yeah, Samoa Joe wins is silly.
I mean, it was just a disappointing match because on paper, it's like, okay, Joe can probably benefit from this match because he clearly can't go the way he used to. So being in a triple threat with two younger wrestlers could help. It could help hide his weaknesses. And it's just like, Wardlow needed this more. They've dropped the ball on Wardlow like bad ever since, his feud with MJF and he broke free on his own. They have really dropped the ball on him. And it's just, I don't get how you do that. And then same thing with Hobbs. It's just like, we're glad to see Hobbs in a prominent role in the show. But it's just like, okay, if you're going to drop, like you said, if you're going to drop it to anybody, drop it to a younger guy. Give it to Hobbs. I mean, I would have been fine if it like Hobbs, got the heel win. Like, Joe goes for a finisher or Wardlow goes for a finisher and Hobbs pushes someone out of the way and goes for the pin. Like, I would have been fine with that. But it's just like when Joe won, I'm like, why does Joe need a title? Like, Joe's job should be putting over a younger talent. Like, this made no sense. It doesn't do anything for Joe. And like you said, like, Joe at this point is going through the motions. Like, he is just waiting for his contract to come so he can go back to WWE. And the only reason why he got to AEW is because it was a contract. What was that?
I'm sure if I want that to happen.
Well, I mean, not as a wrestler. He's probably going to go back as maybe like a backstage talent scout.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So I mean, he's just doing this for the paycheck at the end of the day. Which again, there's nothing wrong with that. People need to get paid. But it's just this match was a disappointment, just all around, and the crowd seemed like they were dead. Like, they did not care about this match at all. Next match, you had a no disqualification tag team match. Sting and Darby Allin defeated Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal with Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh.
You want my honest, you want my honest opinion about this match?
Yes.
All right, so no troll, nothing like that, and being that serious. I thought this match should have main event the show. This was fantastic. This is the best match I've seen all year. 5.5 stars. Amazing. Darby's great. Sting's great. Just put the world title on him now. Screw you, MJF. You don't know what the hell you're doing with that belt anyway. But give it to a real star like the Stinger. Jeff Jarrett, I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby. Slap nuts. Like, just
don't piss me off.
Yeah, don't piss me off. Him. Okay. So we got our next pay-per-view of Revolution. So it should be him versus Sting for the AEW Championship in a 60-man Iron Man match.
Jesus Christ.
That would really set the world on fire, I think. And at the end of it all, Sting. It's also hair versus hair. So Sting gets his head shaved. Oh, he'll come back with the blonde spikes as well. So fantastic match. Loved it. Loved everything about it. My sad I'm saying he sucks.
So much semen, like you would say.
I'd be semen everywhere. A lot of wasted babies. Like I wasted 7 doctors and 25 athletes.
It's like your right arm is gonna be bigger than your left arm.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The match was fine. It was fine for what it was. Yeah, Sting, at 60-something years old, is going to continue doing dives, and, no one's going to say anything about it. And
I'm waiting for him to do a 3-star press.
Jesus Christ. Darby Allin, who's apparently impervious to pain, is just no-selling, getting a guitar to the head. And
there were some people that were complaining about that on Twitter. Was it on Twitter or was it on Instagram? Well, regardless, though, there were some people that I won't say complaining. They were kind of questioning it. I was thinking he's been with Sting for about 2 years now, so who's to say that they didn't train that or Sting didn't show him the secrets to that in a kayfabe sense. I'm just saying.
I didn't lose my shit when I saw it. I just saw that and went, okay, so that's a thing now. So whatever. The match was what it was, and the faces won, so whatever. Next is what I think is close to being the match of the night. Yeah, the AEW World Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm.
Fantastic match. This is what the women's division should be about right here. This is the closest that I've seen to a Japanese style Joshi type match that I've seen in AEW. Hard hitting, believable. They made the right call with Jamie Hayter. I thought Toni Storm was going to win, but they made the right call with Jamie Hayter. I thought Thunder Rosa will have a chance to be coming back. Now I have no idea when she's coming back or if she's coming back at this point, which kind of sucks because I really like Thunder Rosa. But yeah, very damn good match. Very damn good match overall.
It was really good. It was really good, but I think the crowd their energy was sucked out because again, long ass fucking show. But I like this match. These two matched up really well. I think Jamie Hayter is really fucking good. A lot better than Britt Baker. Storm is good, but it's just like something's missing with her. And not just her ass, but she doesn't
have much of a character. She has a look, but not a character.
She doesn't really appeal to the fans or not appeal, but she has no connection with the fans. When she comes out, it's just it's Toni Storm, polite golf claps. But good in the ring, but she, like you said, she needs a character. And I'm kind of glad they got the title off of her because she doesn't really do anything with it. So put it on Jamie Hayter, see what she can do, and I'm interested to see where this goes.
Britt Baker turn on Jamie Hayter, that's coming. You know that.
Could it be? Fuck, it'll more than likely be like Randy Orton getting excommunicado from Evolution.
It could, but I don't think it's gonna be that quick because remember that happened the night after he won the title.
I mean,
He went in SummerSlam 04, then just the night after, just thumbs down.
give me back my championship belt. So, yeah. But yeah, good on Jamie Hayter. Good match. Like you said, this is what the women's division is all about. When you have two good women in the ring. And let's see what they do with Jamie Hayter. Hopefully this isn't a thing of we're putting a title on her so we can get her over. I don't know. Next is AEW Tag Team Championships. You have the Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory.
Another good match with these guys. I think it's probably the weakest out of their championship matches. Not to say it was a bad match. I thought it was good, but obviously they had better matches. Because I think their one at All Out was tremendous match. Good match here. The Acclaim won as they should. Keith Lee leaving Swerve was good. I mean, it was good because of the fact that it wasn't they lose and Swerve just turns on Keith Lee the obvious thing. So the fact that Keith Lee leaves because Swerve wanted to cheat was good. Now, interesting here is that on Dynamite tonight, backstage, Keith Lee was doing an interview with Renee, and Swerve comes up and he puts his hand in front of the camera and say, "Hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this." And Keith Lee was like, "Okay, you know what? Hey, well, let me hear you out." So there's more to the storyline. Obviously, it's gonna lead to a one-on-one match. It's not gonna be oh, let's be a tag team again. This. I mean, they may tag it one more time, then that's probably where Swerve will turn on Keith. But I'm glad to see that they're gonna do a feud with Swerve and Keith Lee, because for a while they weren't doing anything, and they're still gonna continue to do something with them. Now the question is, who's going to challenge the Acclaim for the tag team titles now?
FTR.
You got FTR. You got the Ass Boys. So you got I think those are probably the two there that I think of right on top of my head. Right? It's not gonna be Death Triangle. It's not gonna be the Elite. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be the House of Black. It'll be the House of Black. They came back tonight on Dynamite, and they look good on a beatdown on everybody. There's option. The tag team division, AEW. This was a year ago, probably the best tag team division in wrestling. Now it's looking pretty weak. Not gonna lie. Our tag teams there. A lot of these tag teams are mixed up in the trios. So again, Death Triangle, the Elite. You got the Best Friends. You got the House of Black. So a lot of these teams are just trios, not necessarily two-man tag teams. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully something comes out of it.
And again, the match was fine. Swerve really had to do a lot of heavy lifting, no pun intended, and carry Keith during this match. Keith just does not look good out there. I'm sorry. He didn't look good. So, Swerve had to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Like I said, no pun intended, and that attributes to what a star he is. He had to do everything, and the Acclaimed are the Acclaimed. They're over. I mean, they're still green, but they're still over. I didn't like the ending. Going back to what I said earlier about how a lot of these matches are just they should have ended a few minutes ago, but they just keep prolonging it. The spot where Keith leaves, or Keith ends up leaving the match, and I think it was not Max Caster, but Anthony Bowens. I think he goes for the schoolboy, and it's okay, that should be the ending of the match, at least. But no, they kick out and prolong the match for another 90 seconds. And I remember when I saw that spot, I yelled, "That should have been the ending of the fucking match!" What the fuck? But I digress. But fine match. Swerve deserves something for having to carry that match. Now we're on to the main event. You have MJF versus Jon Moxley in a singles match for the AEW World Championship.
Great match. Again, I clearly said that MJF is winning this match. I was 99.9% sure. The question was, how is he going to win this match? Obviously, we mentioned William Regal, that being there, and that's what happened. A little bit different, again. We thought it was going to be the diamond ring. It ended up being the brass knucks. And, MJF wins. I don't know what to say about it other than that it was predictable. Wasn't bad. Great. Right. I don't say it was a great match, but it was a good match. Very good, I thought. Now it's kind of like, okay, what do we do from here, right? On the Dynamite tonight, Moxley and Regal promo. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I thought AEW kind of dropped the ball a little bit with MJF. God, man, like Tony Khan, I don't know if he thinks this shit through. Why won't you bring out MJF in Chicago? Why wouldn't you bring MJF back in Chicago?
Is that where they were tonight?
At Chicago for the 27th time this year, yes.
Well, MJF is actually filming a movie, so that's why.
Yeah, but okay, I get that, but still, they could have gave him the Wednesday off. Could have gave him Wednesday off to go to, and Chicago's in the middle of the country as well. I mean,
yeah, that's weird because William Regal said MJF will not be appearing tonight. So I mean, I get it. He's filming a movie, and maybe it was a thing of like filming your scenes is going to start on this day. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing of the director.
I get it. I get it. But man, they need to. Yeah, it would have been cool for him to come out in Chicago because it would have been MJF versus CM Punk instead of MJF versus Moxley at Full Gear. And they were going to have this show in Chicago anyway. Mm-hmm. I think the plan originally was CM Punk versus MJF. MJF wins the next night or next time. MJF comes out of Chicago with the AEW title to generate nuclear heat. So it's always going to be a what if.
My thoughts on the match, kind of like you. Good match. Great match. It was predictable, which, again, there's nothing wrong with being predictable as long as you pull it off right. I mean, I think everybody called that MJF was going to win, that Regal was going to get involved. My only criticism of the match was the table spot. I thought the table spot was a little bit unnecessary, and it just seemed like it was taking forever to happen. And honestly, it seemed more like a Moxley thing rather than an MJF thing. Like, it seemed like something Moxley wanted to do, and MJF was like, okay. I can just picture that. It'd be funny. But, yeah, the table spot I thought I didn't think was needed. It was just there. It wasn't needed. But the match was fine. As soon as I saw Regal come out, I'm like, yep, it's happening. And MJF's your new world champion. And then the media scrum, he came out and just everybody saw. If you didn't see it, look it up, and it's just him being MJF, cussing everybody out, calling them dumb motherfuckers, and basically being in character. I mean, he's not being Punk. I mean, he's just being MJF. That's his character. He's a shit talker. So, like you said, where do we go from here? We assume it's we're gonna finish out with Moxley before Revolution, which is in March, I think.
March.
So there we go. And also, of course, we have Ricky Starks coming up next month at Winter is Coming. So with MJF, it's just like, I mean, they gave him this title because, again, he's really the only guy in this company that, really generates a reaction. Or one of few.
I wouldn't say
one of few. One of few.
One of few.
Is that fair? One of few.
One of few. Yes. On that level, yes.
Right, and it's just like they obviously want to keep him, and because again, he's been making mention like it seems like a cross between in character and out of character, where he constantly brings up the bidding war of 2024. So I wouldn't be shocked if they gave him a lengthy title reign until the negotiations.
This is gonna be. If I were AEW, he'll have the longest title reign in that company's history.
Yeah, probably until next full
give
year.
Him if AEW if they want to draw major interest on what they're doing, and because of the War 2024, right? I will give him this title reign for a year, all the way in 2023, and that's gonna get us in November the 19th, 2023, with 2 months left on his contract.
Mm-hmm.
And he may lose the title, maybe at Full Gear next year, right? Or maybe after that. And from there, do like a loser leaves town match against it's either going to be against Darby Allin or Jungle Boy. It's going to be one of those two that's going to get him out of AEW. If it leads to that.
I mean, if you're able to build up Jungle Boy by then as a credible babyface, maybe. Same thing with Darby, because Darby at this point has been kind of not lost in the shuffle, but it's just like doing his own thing with Sting and just being in 6-man tags. So it's just if they can build him back up as a credible babyface, we'll see how that works. But
now I'm not saying that Darby Allin or Jungle Boy is going to win the AEW title. I think someone may else take off the AEW title from him. Maybe Adam Page or maybe Adam Cole or I don't know. But I definitely see either Darby Allin or Jungle Boy doing a loser leaves town match, and and MJF loses, and they're gonna play this up. Him leaving AEW.
You brought up.
If we hear something between now and next year that MJF has signed a contract, then that idea's off the table.
You brought up an interesting name. I wasn't even thinking about Adam Cole. I mean, he's mainly always been a heel from what I've seen. I mean, he can probably be built up as a credible babyface.
Yeah,
if done right. I mean, if they don't fuck it up, but I don't know.
Yeah, he had a brief babyface run in NXT, and people liked it.
We'll see. It's one of those things of just wait and see. So that's our Full Gear review. Let's get to Survivor Series predictions, and we will call tonight. All right. So Survivor Series will be this Saturday, November 26th, in Boston, Massachusetts, in the TD Garden. Let's see. The match is already announced. So far, there's 5 matches, just the way it should be. Nip the puppy, as Maurice said. Let's start with. Let me just get to the bottom. Triple threat for the WWE United States Championship. Seth freaking Rollins, the champion, versus Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory.
It'll be a fantastic triple threat match. Oh man, we talked about Theory, we talked about Lashley, and obviously Seth Rollins. I think it's gonna be a very fun triple threat match. He's gonna shock on how good it's actually gonna be. This is going to showcase the new character of Austin Theory very well, building him up more as a as a serious heel character now. Yeah, but Seth Rollins is gonna win this match. I think Bobby Lashley may eat the pin here. Actually, I think Bobby Lashley may eat the pin here.
I'm gonna go with Theory, because they're looking like they want to re-push him. Which, I mean, they've always wanted to push him, but I think that briefcase was always like a giant like I don't want to say red flag. I guess like the giant elephant with Austin Theory because they wanted to push him, but it's just like, so how do we push him without making it look like we're downgrading him? So
let me give you two predictions real quick.
Hmm.
Austin Theory in 2023. Austin Theory versus John Cena at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Theory winning that match. And the other prediction is Austin Theory, Final Four, Royal Rumble, over 60 minutes in the match.
Okay, I mean that'd be interesting. Yeah, and also
That will make him a star right there.
You got the possibility of the Royal Rumble having 40, entrants. So, I mean, I'm fine with those predictions if they come true. I think he's gonna win it. I mean, I think it's gonna be a thing of Bobby and Seth are gonna wear each other out, and then Theory, capitalizes on who's the weakest and goes for the pin. So I think I'm picking Theory to win this. This should be a good match. Next, you have a singles match: AJ Styles versus Finn Balor.
Oh man! Every time when I go against the Judgment Day, they still win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Finn as well because the Judgment Day are they're the hottest act right now. So go with Finn. I mean, on paper, but
the OC. Well, AJ Styles, he keeps losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. He hasn't been strong in a while. Gosh, man. But the match should be great, obviously. I mean, I gotta go with AJ Styles. He needs something. He needs something.
I love AJ. Don't get me wrong, I love AJ to death. I just think it's one of those things of just like the company loves the Judgment Day and Triple H loves Finn. Like Finn is a Triple H guy, and
oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm not disputing that, but it comes to a certain point where like to me, if Finn loses, does the Judgment Day even get hurt by it? Oh,
I mean, not really, but again, it's just one of those things of like maybe this can be a prolonged feud. Maybe there could be another match with these two. I don't know, but I think Finn's gonna win it.
I mean, Judgment Day and OC. I mean, they've been feuding for about a month and a half now. Actually, longer than that. Him and AJ have been feuding for a while now. On and off, but they've been feuding for a while. I mean, honestly, if Finn wins, okay, whatever. But I honestly think that AJ needs it more. Judgment Day doesn't need it as much. They can recover the next night on Raw by attacking somebody or doing something. They're megally over right now. I think a loss won't hurt. It won't hurt the group whatsoever.
I mean, this should be a great match on paper. I mean, because it's AJ Styles and Finn Balor, and AJ can still go, Finn can still go. This should be a great match. This has match of the year written all over it. So we'll see how these two can pull it off. Yeah. Next is the SmackDown Women's Championship: Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi.
Shotzi, the only reason why she's in this match here is because of War Games and she drives a tank and all that. I like Shotzi though. I'm not saying that as to disrespect or anything, but I'm just saying that's the reason why she's in this match. Ronda's winning. Shotzi's not winning. Yeah. So I'm just waiting on Ronda Rousey to get to WrestleMania. Becky Lynch. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ronda. I mean, I didn't even think about that Shotzi's in this match because she drives a tank and it's War Games. But I mean, they need an opponent for Ronda, and maybe this is a thing of like if Shotzi loses, she really wins. So it's one of those things of like, let's see how good Shotzi can do. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think this is like her first big match in the company.
This is her first singles title match on the pay-per-view. Even for NXT, because I don't think she ever got a one-on-one NXT title match on a pay-per-view.
Oh no, like, I mean, she's a crowd favorite. People like her. The company seems like they like her. So, again, I love Shotzi. I want to see what this does for her. What a match like this can do for her. So we'll see. But yeah, Ronda's winning. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's probably going to be a quick match, maybe under 10 minutes. But again, it's one of those things I was just like, let's see what it can do for Shotzi. Next, you have the Women's War Games match. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and to be announced versus Damage Control and Nikki Cross with Rhea Ripley.
Ooh, be a good match. We don't know who number 5 is yet. I'm assuming maybe Becky Lynch. With that being said, however, no matter who is the last person coming into this match, the heels are going to win. I'm going with the heels. Damage Control needs something. They need something. And I did mention that Bayley is going to win the feud over Bianca Belair. And this is where this feud is going to end for them. So Damage Control still looks strong. Bianca Belair still the champion, right? Gives Mia Yim that prominent role on pay-per-view, right, in a main event type match. Becky Lynch coming back as well. Becky Lynch loses, it's not going to hurt her. It's fucking Becky Lynch, right? Alexa Bliss and Asuka, they're in that role. They're in that point of their career where either with these characters where if they lose all the time, it's not going to matter. Where they win all the time, it's not going to matter. So they're in a good role as well. The people that need it is Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, this new character, Rhea Ripley still, because she still needs to look strong as well, and Bayley with this new group. Damage Control, Team Damage Control needs it more, and I'm pretty damn sure that they're going to win this match.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless something funky happens, but I can't really see that happening in this match.
I mean, one of those things of just like let's say it is either, Sasha Banks or Becky Lynch that comes out, you're not going to have them lose when they in their first match back. You know what I mean? Like,
I disagree with that. I disagree with that because again, if they lose, right, they don't have to get. This is War Games. They don't have to take the pinfall or anything like that. They don't have to take the pinfall. They don't have to, give up, surrender, or whatnot. Again, if they lose, okay, Becky loses, okay, Sasha loses, okay, it's not going to hurt them overall. The excitement's still going to be there of them coming back. I think the Hills need it more, and I think I really think the Hills is going to win this match.
True, but I don't know. I mean, as long as we've been watching wrestling, it's just like, let's say Sasha does come out and they're in Boston and the place is going to go nuts because of Sasha.
Now they may call audible with Sasha. I'll give you that. But if it's Becky, it could be anybody else. It can be anybody else. Like anybody else. It could be Becky. It could be Charlotte. Charlotte could still come back too as well. It can be anybody. But if it's Sasha, okay, maybe the faces win.
I mean, if it's Becky, that can be a possible feud. Becky and Rhea. You never know, or Becky and Bayley. So who knows? But I'm gonna stick with the faces on winning this. I got the faces winning this. Next is what I'm assuming is the main event, the men's War Games match, the Brawling Brutes.
If this opens up the show, I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off.
I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be the main event.
Men's War Games, the Brawling Brutes, including Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and the Usos.
Gonna be a great match. A lot of storytelling is gonna be done in this match. Like Drew and Roman, Sheamus and Roman, Kevin Owens and Roman, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. All the time. This is about to be If done right, this is probably going to be some of the best storytelling that we will ever see in a match in WWE history. If it's done right, correctly, right? The faces are winning this match. They're winning this match 100%. And that's another reason why I'm thinking the Hills is going to win on the women's side, because, you have a Hill team win on the women, you have the face team win on the men. But the key thing is that what is Sami Zayn going to do to cost the Bloodline?
He's going to eat the pin.
Sami Zayn is going to cost the Bloodline in some fashion, where if he gives up, or if he gets pinned, or if he doesn't save somebody in time, what I think is going to happen, I think Jey Uso may attack Sami Zayn in the match, punches him or something like that. Jey Uso, he's in like a double submission or whatnot. Sami Zayn looks at him, he taps out, something like that. Roman Reigns is laid out, or Roman Reigns sees Sami Zayn do that, and that comes to a head on the next SmackDown, where Sami Zayn gets kicked out of the group. Sami Zayn is going to cost the Bloodline this match in some way or some form.
You know what I think could happen?
And it's going to be dynamic storytelling going forward.
What I think could happen would be interesting is, let's say Sammy eats the pin, but you end up like turning the camera to Jey Uso, who's like right there, and he could easily stop the pin, but he just goes, you know what, fuck Sammy. Let him eat the pin. Let him take the blame. Let him get kicked out of this group. And then that plays into the next show, which is, Roman, calling everybody out, but you think he's going to call Sammy out, and then he immediately turns his attention to Jey and going, you cost him the pin, or you're the one that just let him get pinned. Like,
well, yeah, if they go in that direction, then yes, and they still got a while before WrestleMania, but it's gonna be the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania for the tag titles, and the reign of the Usos will end at WrestleMania, and the team that they're gonna lose to is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So that could be one as well. But there's gonna be dynamic advancement in the Bloodline storyline. It's either Sammy gets kicked out of the group, or it's gonna be hard for Jey to get kicked out of the group, because like they're still tag team champions, and it's like, well, how's that gonna work? You know what I mean? With the dynamic there, if Jey gets kicked out, does Jimmy get kicked out automatically?
I was gonna say Roman can tell Jey, give me your tag team belt, and then he gives it to Sammy. Like, how fucked up would that be?
I mean, I honestly don't want to see that, to be honest, but
yeah,
because that'll break up the tag team reign of the Usos. I would not want to see that, actually, but I think it's gonna be something to where that Sammy costs the Bloodline. The Bloodline kicks out Sami Zayn, or Roman maybe gives him one more shot or something. But it's gonna be oh my god, it's gonna be so damn good.
It's good.
I haven't been excited for a Survivor Series in so long, and I am this Saturday.
There's no reason why the match shouldn't be fucking good. Like, you have plenty of stars in it. I mean, that's what made NXT War Games so good. Because that was NXT in its heyday. You had the Adam Coles, the Pete Dunnes,
Adam Coles, Ricochets, Keith Lee's.
Yeah,
and I mean, you got the Viking Raiders. You know what I mean? Like,
those are fun matches.
Insanity as well.
This is going to be a fun fucking match. It should be a match of the year candidate. And it's going to be good storytelling. And I'm giving the faces this win because you have so many stories in this ring. I mean, because Kevin Owens, he says his direction is at Roman Reigns, not Sami Zayn. But, Sami Zayn naturally is going to play a part in the storyline. So, I mean, if I had to guess, I would say Kevin Owens is going to face Roman at Rumble, at the Rumble for the title, for the second time, or actually the third time, because they had the match at the Rumble in 2017, which was a really fucking good match. And then they had the Last Man Standing match in 2020. Was it 2020? No, it's 2021. I'm sorry. And then 2023. possibly. So I wouldn't mind it because those two work really well together. Like, they have really good chemistry, so I wouldn't mind that match. This match has everything it takes to be match of the year candidate. I'm sorry.
If done well, the only thing I would like to see, I don't think it's going to happen, but a little color, a little blood. If it's busting open the hard way, WWE has been Triple H since this era started. They don't clean up the blood on the wrestler's face or nose or the case may be. So if we get that, I'm very cool with that. I just want to see what kind of top of the cage spot we're going to see here. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens suplexes Sami Zayn into the group. That's a obvious spot that they probably will do. It'll be something cool, or maybe or if they want to do something innovative, it would be very dangerous. But if they want to do something innovative, I'm like Kevin Owens powerbomb Sami Zayn into the group. The jumping, falling powerbomb. But that'll be super dangerous though, and definitely not worth it. So,
there's going to be a spot off the cage, and if it's anyone, it's going to be Kevin. Like, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts, or possibly maybe even Jey Uso, maybe even Sammy. Who knows? But I can't fucking wait. I'm like you. This is probably the first time in a long time that I've anticipated a Survivor Series match, or just a show in general. Like, the show from top to bottom looks like it's going to be a really great show. And
it should be, the two Survivor Series matches. In theory, it should be about 40 minutes each, 40 to 45 minutes. Probably the minutes will probably be about an hour.
Right.
Which
it's 5 matches.
Which in hindsight, I think that's not really much of a issue, in my opinion. But yeah,
it's 5 matches. The show's going to start at 7, so I'm assuming we're going to be out of there before 10. Which, again, that's heaven. Like, that's how you book a show, not from 7 to midnight. Like 7 until 9:45 or 10 at least. 10 being the latest. So that's
So just looking at some of the past War games. So if I take 2019 War Games for example, right? I just looked up a random War Games match. The women's was 27 minutes and the men's was 38 minutes. So it may be something like that. We'll see.
Which I wouldn't mind. And you have the right people in the match. In each
Absolutely.
match. So that was our Survivor Series predictions for this Saturday. Hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. Happy holidays from me and Justin. We hope you guys are safe. Be safe, whether you're with family, friends, or by yourself. Just be safe. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday. And enjoy Survivor Series this weekend. And we'll just do our plugs. So, Justin, tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, obviously you guys know me, spinebustertees.com. Am going to have I'm supposed to have the design. I thought I was supposed to have the design done by last week, but my designer, he had some family issues and whatnot, so I just texted him yesterday, and hopefully next week, the new design will be up, and I'll put it here in the chat as well, of the new design. I'm so excited. Can't wait to show you guys. Just bought about 15 action figures today as well. Black Friday sale as well. Buying figures for $3.99 on Ringside Collectibles. So those will be coming in too as well. Once, get my shop up in San Antonio here, we'll have pay-per-view posters, action figures, pop figures, t-shirts, obviously. Any wrestling memorabilia will be there, and I can't wait. Time's going by fast, but not fast enough for me to have this shop. So But yeah, spinebustertees.com. Follow me on Instagram on spinebustertees, and also as well. And if Twitter fails or whatnot, follow me on Hive Social. Hive Social just made a new Hive. Got 70 followers on there already. Spinebuster Tees on Hive. It's a mixture between Twitter and Instagram. The interface is very easy to use, very funny to use. People on there are actually normal, which is cool. And people are very active on there as far as talking to people. There's over 1 million users on Hive already within the first few days that it came out. So the only thing I don't like about it's a new app. It's slow. That's the only thing it is. It's slow, but I think they probably anticipate all the new users going on there. So Hive Social, create an account on there, follow me on there as well, and keep up to date on my journey.
I was thinking about switching to Hive because I have Mastodon, but that isn't really.
It'll be a great way to grow to grow your podcast. I'll tell you that because there's not a lot of people on there right now. So if you're on there just like leaving posts about the podcast or whatnot, you know what I mean, and just like doing that and just like posting every now and then, you are going to get interaction. But I got to 70 followers already. Because I decided to follow a lot of people as well and leave like comments and stuff and like their stuff. So that way I'm showing that I'm interactive. So that way you get more eyes on your product. So I'm trying to get more eyes on my business. You could maybe get more eyes on the podcast too.
I might just do that when I get off here.
It took like 2 minutes to set up. It was pretty quick.
You know where to find me, social media wise, and like Justin just mentioned, I might just try out this Hive. So you might find me on there pretty soon. And the show, you can find it on Spreaker. You can find it on anywhere else that podcasts are distributed. You can listen to me on YouTube if you listen to podcasts on YouTube or watch podcasts on YouTube, whatever. And also Patreon. The Patreon is only $5 buckaroos a month. It's a pretty good deal. I don't think you get fully charged $5. I think you maybe get charged like maybe $3.80 something a month. So that too, you get like $1.30 off or $1.50 off or whatever. So this show, I'll try to put up the show up by tomorrow. Actually, you get a nice little Thanksgiving treat. You get to listen to this show and eat some turkey. So sounds like a pretty good damn deal. And yeah, I mean. We don't have any shows this weekend. Next Saturday will be the Q&A, the first Q&A for December. And, this Saturday is obviously Survivor Series. Next Wednesday, we'll be doing a Survivor Series post-show, or just a review show, whatever you want to call it. And that's really about it. So what else can I say? But from me and Justin, be safe this holiday, be safe tomorrow. And just have fun, and what else can we say but happy Thanksgiving and peace out.
Peace out.